So if you haven't done that, you don't have to do it now, but in the future, please, when we have meetings, you transfer into training, and we can show you that if you're not, don't know how to do that. So guess what month this is? Guess what happened 12 years ago? Our anniversary. New tracks opened 12 years ago. What was the date, Kathy?
November 7th.
November 7th. Yes. So happy anniversary. We have pizza and some apple pies coming for our anniversary. And so since we're talking about anniversaries, all the people that have been here for 12 years, please stand. All the people. So we have Rhonda, Pam, Kathy, Shelley, Dorothy, Kelly, Diane, Reedy, Mike Clapp, and myself. We have all been here 12 years, so happy 12th anniversary. And then since we're talking about anniversaries, we have a few other anniversaries. We have Bob Langler. He has been with us 5 years, and I have a thing for you. So thank you for your 5-year service, Bob. Thank you. And we have Dave Burgoyne. I don't see him. He was going to try to make it here. He's doing better. He's been around a lot better, and he has been here 3 years. And then we have Eric P. Is Eric P. in the, there he is. He's been here 2 years. Thank you for your 2 years of service. And Laura's not here, but Laura Torres has also been with us for 2 years. So say happy anniversary to her when you see her. And then Jerome Dill. He's been here 1 year. Happy anniversary. Okay. I have a few announcements. It's getting to that time of year where Secret Santa is here. So if you want to partake and be part of Secret Santa as a driver, there are some rules, and so if you want to be a part of that, please see Bretta. But there is a sheet up here, and we are going to draw today. So if you want and you don't have your name in the bucket, please do so. As soon as the driver's meeting is over, get in so then we can go around and pick to see who you have. And then we are having a holiday party on December 15th, so mark your calendars for that. And then we usually bring the bigger gift on that December 15th day of the holiday party. And so that's Friday night, December 15th. A few other announcements. A couple of these are from the dispatchers. So after your A runs and before your B runs, refresh your tablets, because all the cancels that have come through and you can't hear the dispatchers and they're trying to call you and you don't hear them, just refresh, refresh a couple times, because they put everything through your tablet and then you can see exactly what they're talking about on your tablet. So just make sure. And please, in the morning, do not sign into your afternoon routes. So just sign into the morning, because things change, and you'll get all the right information if you wait till the afternoon to sign into your route. Seating charts. We need to keep those updated. Our sub-drivers, we're getting more and more sub-drivers, so please, when you get someone new or somebody comes off of your bus, please update those seating charts and make them look like your buses. So if you have a wheelchair, put a circle around it in the form of the seating charts. So please take a few moments and please update those seating charts, because sub-drivers do use those seating charts. And it's part of your job as a driver to keep the dispatchers do a great job of keeping the information, your bus cards, and all of that up to date in your route books. But please keep your seating charts updated. Thank you. So we have some new drivers. I'm excited to, it's named Katie. So we have a new driver full time. I don't see, she's taking over 275 Lisa. And Lisa is becoming a full-time sub-driver dispatcher. So she's getting trained into 275. She'll be taking that route over. And then Lisa will be another full-time sub-driver dispatcher for us. And then we have Court. I did see Court. He's a new community driver. Welcome to New Tracks. We have Mike. He also is another new community driver. Welcome, Mike. We have Leslie. I did see Leslie. There she is. She's taking over for Bruce 293 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And Bruce has become a sub-driver for us on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thank you, Bruce. And then Scott. Scott's right there. He's another part-time driver. He works Mondays for us. So welcome. And I think I got everyone. So it's exciting. You get new drivers. And so thank you. And, you know, we're still looking for a couple full-time drivers. And there's that bonus as well. You know what? I bet you've been here a month, but I haven't been here a month. I'm sorry. We have Patrick Simon, 267. But I think you're right. So sorry about that. So he took over for 267. So those are all the announcements that I have for you. And we're going to read, he's going to be doing, oh, and look who's in the house. We have Ron. Welcome, Ron. He comes in and out and does community stuff for us. So we're glad to have you back. Oh, there's Katie. Katie right here. Welcome, Katie. She is taking over 275. Okay, I'm going to give the mic to Reedy. She's going to, all this weather. Inclement weather.
Hello. We're going to talk about inclement weather, of course, because it's getting colder out. Thank God we don't have any snow yet. But just a little. But thank you for coming. Good. So we're going to do a little bit of Ask the Trainer. So I handed out some little slips of paper to some of you. So if you guys just want to yell out one at a time, not all together, please.
Plan your route.
Oh, okay, thanks, Bob. Hang on just a minute. What was it?
Plan your route.
Plan your route. So,
Say that.
before you head out, make sure that you are checking the roads. Of course, you'll know kind of when you're driving in. That'll be your first clue. And while I'm talking about it, remember to always check your when to work when it's snowing or anything, because that's how we will tell you guys if we are going to be closed or delayed going out on our route. So make sure you just familiarize, especially the sub-drivers, familiarize yourself with your routes. Even if you have GPS, just make sure that you know where you're going. And if the roads are plowed at one of your houses, don't go down it, because you're going to get stuck, and then it's going to not be good. Because then we're going to have to send Lisa out there to push you out, and I don't think she wants to do that. So, and if you're running behind, make sure that you're calling into dispatch and letting us know so that they can call your houses ahead of time, and they can let them know that you're running late, so they can like take their clients, unbundle them, which now they're probably sweating because they're waiting for you. So, all right, how about another one? Batteries. So, when the weather gets cold, as the temperature drops, so does the power in your battery. So that's why we always, in the cold, it's hard for that battery to start that engine and keep going and keep everything working on your bus. So remember, when you come back, to turn everything off in your bus. Shut everything down, even the radio, all that stuff, so that it's not so hard on the battery and the alternator to when we start those buses up on a 20 degree below zero day. Thank you very much, Janet. Remember to thank Janet, because she's going to be starting those buses for you. Yeah. So, if you're stopped or you get stalled on the road somewhere in the wintry weather, just remember you want to stay focused on yourself. Take care of yourself. Go out and overdo it, trying to dig yourself out of the ditch or wherever you're at. And stay focused on your passengers. Make sure they're okay. They might get a little bit excited about what's happening, so make sure that they're good. And make sure of the surroundings around your bus. You know, if you're on the side of the road, make sure that you have your hazards on so no one runs into you. Hopefully they'll obey the move over law and give you guys lots of room. And then also try to keep the interior light on so that people can see you and see inside the bus. And then be mindful, if it's deep snow, be mindful of carbon monoxide poisoning. You want to make sure your tailpipe is not blocked by snow or anything like that, and that you're not running your bus for long periods of time without the windows open, some airflow going through there. You don't want everybody conking out on you. All right, how about another one?
Windshield wipers.
Windshield wipers. You know, it takes one good snowstorm to go through all your windshield washer fluid and to wreck, so to speak, wreck your windshield wipers. So you want to make sure that your reservoir for your windshield washer fluid is full. And I know it's hard to see that reservoir in the engine because it's all dark in there, but try to just top it off. If we've had lots of bad weather, top it off and make sure that that stays full. And then make sure if you're stopped for a long period of time and maybe it's kind of frozen over a little bit, don't just run those windshield wipers because you're going to break them up, you're going to wreck them. Try to go out and maybe try to wipe them off the best you can and unstick them from the window before they get wrecked. And then also, you know, as part of your windshield or your pre-trip, to run those wipers and make sure that they're not already starting to come off, or a piece of the wire on the ends are rubbing and scratching the windshield. So take care of your windshield wipers. You might really need them in that awful sleety weather, which unfortunately we know is coming. All right, who's next?
Safety technology.
Safety technology. Who can tell me what kind of safety technology we have on our buses?
Anti-lock brakes.
Absolutely. We have anti-lock brakes on all of our buses, which means that when you're trying to slow down, you're not going to pump the brakes, right? You're just going to step on it. You're stand on those brakes until you stop, and you might hear this kind of grinding noise and stuttering as it stops, but that's normal for anti-lock brakes. We also have something called StabiliTrak, and that is connected to each wire. Sorry, I'm like,
There you go.
gonna knock over that camera. It's connected to each wheel on your bus, and what it does is it tries to stabilize the bus. If you're starting to skid or your tail is starting to skid around, it actually tries to help steady your bus and get it back into alignment, if you will, so that you can stay on the road and not go sliding all over the place. Rick, next. Tires. So it's also in your pre-trip that you check your tires, right? So we're checking the treads on our tires. We're making sure that your tires have good deep tread on them, and I think that the mechanics go around too, and they keep an eye on those for us too, don't you? Don't just storm. I know you do, because you're a good mechanic. Good mechanic. All right, sorry. Remember that when the temperature drops, and you probably notice this on your car, your tire pressure drops also. So I did buy some new tire pressure gauges and some tread depth gauges that if you guys want some, I'm going to put some in here. Please do not forget them on your bus. I only have so many, so I don't have enough for every single bus. But if you want to come in, you think your tires low, come in, get one of those gauges, check it out. Or you can even just go to one of the mechanics or who's ever here in the morning and say, hey, can you just come and look at this tire? It looks a little bit low to me. Inspect your tires every day and check the pressure when it's cold out, not on a hot tire, okay? And then check for any damage or conditions that need attention, like maybe a smooth spot on the tire. Maybe it's the tread is getting worn and kind of funny. You want to look for that kind of things too. And then also check your sidewalls in case you have any cuts or punctures or even like bulges on the sides of the tires, scrapes or cracks, anything like that. That's the kind of stuff you want to look for on your tires. And again, if you see any of that stuff, write up a work order or have the mechanics come out and check it out for you, because that tire may not be safe to drive around if it's got some cuts or scrapes or anything like that in it. Anybody else got one? Gas up. Okay, so always make sure, try to top your gas on as much as you can. And if that means going every day and just topping it off, it depends on how long your route is. You know, you might want to try keeping your gas tank full. You also want to make sure it never falls before under a half a tank, right? Always keep it above a half a tank. So if you're at the end of the day and you're at a half a tank, go to the gas station and get some gas in there. And if you want to leave early, come in and leave early in the morning, make sure you check with Patty and Mike before you do that. Otherwise, they're going to look at your time card and go, why is Doug leaving so early all the time to go get gas or whatever? And then she'll be coming and talking to you, you know. When Patty comes and talks to you, it's always, you know, meg. So just remember to make sure you have over half tank. And then also remember that it's kind of a good idea to have a full tank, right? Helps weigh down the bus, and it helps to get you so you can get through some of that snow when you have a full tank. Just get that little added extra weight. You look like you have one, Kevin. What do you got?
Cooling system.
Cooling system. It's kind of the same thing. You're going to be checking your cooling system. And you're going to want to make sure that it's at the halfway mark. If you see, you'll see it when you're checking under the engine, right? Also, another thing to do when you're walking up to your bus, you're going to check underneath your bus for any puddles of cooling system or any puddles of oil that might be underneath your bus. Make sure that you don't have any leaks under there. And that's a good time to kind of look under your bus too, make sure nothing is hanging down or broken. That's not supposed to be. So make sure you check for any cooling leaks. Also because that's what helps keep your bus warm. So it's a good idea to keep an eye on that. All right, anybody else? Lights? You guys got lots of lights on your bus, right? So you want to make sure that those are working for one thing and that they're clear. So we all know when it gets kind of crappy out, those can get pretty covered up. So make sure, first of all, that they're all working. And then when you go get gas every day, or how often you're going to go get gas, while you're waiting for your gas tank to fill up, that's a good time to go and wipe those lights off. Take the squeegee, you're going to wipe your windows anyway, so go around, walk around the bus, make sure that your lights are all cleared off too, so that you want people to see you, okay, and know that you're coming down the road at them. Oh, and also, when you are going to get your bus, you need to turn your bus completely off. Don't have your bus running while you're filling your bus up with gas. Not a good idea. Okay, so just make sure you turn it off and get out, clean your lights up, and do it the safe way. Okay? Anybody else? Yeah, so?
Grit.
The what?
Grit. It's not the stuff in the tub that we throw in the tires.
Oh yes, that's coming. So, yeah, with one of the things, yeah.
One other thing that's good to do while you're getting gas is take that squeegee and clear out the bus stops and all the crossings.
Yes, thank you. On the back of your bus, it can get really dirty and really slushy. The sign that says that you stop at all railroad tracks, make sure that you're wiping that off too with the squeegee, and so that everybody can see that, so you don't get run into or honked at those railroad tracks. Thank you. All right, anybody else got one?
Stop your vehicle.
Stop your vehicle. Thank you, Megan. So, stopping your vehicle, you want to make sure that you carry items, just like in your car. Carry items in case you do get stuck. Prepare for the unexpected. And God forbid that you guys end up in a snow-covered ditch or something, but you want to be prepared if you do. So, carry a snow, they have those collapsible snow shovels if you want one of those. Or a broom, if you have a broom, if that's all you have, then that's all you have to wipe off some of the snow. An ice scraper. Make sure that you guys have good ice scrapers in the buses. We do have some new ones. If you need one, if yours is broken or really ratty from last year, which was awful. Abrasive material, kitty litter, or salt or something that we have in containers over by the key box. Make sure you grab one of those. You want something to put under your tires on an icy road in order to get you out of that situation. If you don't have any of that, even if you can find some sticks or something that you can put under your tires, anything that it can grab onto to get you out of that situation. Yes, Martin? What's that?
Say we get stuck, who do we call?
You want to call dispatch. If you get stuck, that's the first person you're going to call, okay? And then they'll probably send the mechanics out to come help you out of that situation. And if we can't get you out of that situation, then we'll call a tow truck and get you out of there, if it's really bad. Okay? Make sure you have a working flashlight and know where your triangles are and how to use them. And then also make sure that all of your riders and you guys have hats and mittens, okay? We're coming into that stage where I think that dispatch is going to probably be sending out that little slip that you're going to give to everybody's home and saying you must have a hat and mittens. And even if they don't want to keep them on, make sure that they have them in their backpack or they have them somewhere on their person so that in case the heat does conk out or you get stuck somewhere, that at least you're taking care of your clients and making sure that they have something to keep them warm. And there's also blankets. We have one emergency blanket up in the cubby, but if you want to bring a few extra ones, you can do that also just to be on the lookout.
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
Several times there are people that use a wheelchair that, for whatever reason, they can't wear boots, like their foot might be out or whatever. What do you suggest on that? Because sometimes they come up with stuff.
At least they have slippers or something on their feet. They just aren't bringing them out with socks, something, or even have a blanket that's covered. And I've seen houses do that where they will put a blanket around their feet. Something like that to protect them, yeah.
And if you feel that they're not, and you don't want to be the bad guy, please let Mike and I know, and we'll call the homes to make sure that they have those safety articles fully with them.
And that goes for you guys too. Remember hats and mittens and gloves like that, because you're probably going to be going out there and trying to push your bus out or do whatever you need to do. Okay? Anything that anybody got? I got a couple more. Anybody want to yell one out?
Right here. Avoid
Exactly. Exactly. So avoid risky driving. You guys know the rules, right? Do not text or drive distracted while you're driving. And obey the speed limits, especially in inclement weather or snow-covered roads. It doesn't work. I want to be the first one there. I got to get these people unloaded so I can get to my next stop. I'm running late. If you're running late, you should be calling dispatch, right? Speeding up on an icy road or snowy road is going to be more risky than just taking your time, get there safely, and make sure that everybody is safe around you and you're not sliding into somebody. You're able to stop quicker, covering that brake if someone pulls out or slips into you, and you're going to be able to avoid that whole situation also. Okay? Yes?
Don't use your cruise control.
Oh yes, thank you. Do not use your cruise control. It's not gonna be good. Because you're gonna, I personally don't like using my cruise control because I don't feel like I'm in control of the vehicle, but a lot of people like to use that, but especially on snow-covered roads and inclement weather, you don't want to be using that. Okay? Thank you. All right, there's one more out there. Who's going to yell it out? What? Thank you, Diane. Slow down, right? The basics is slow down. Again, it's harder to control or stop your vehicle when the roads are snow covered. It's pretty common sense, right? So increase your following distance and put a second or two more when you're following somebody in traffic. That way you're going to have plenty of time to stop and you're not going to rear end somebody. Okay? And then remember the snow plows out there. Don't crowd the snow plows. They are working hard, sometimes long hours. You don't want to crowd them. You could, they blow out a lot of snow, which could land on your windshield and then make it harder for you guys to see. And just take care and caution if you are like, I'm going around this dude, I gotta get going. So just be careful when you're passing a snow plow also, and use extreme caution because they're probably not going to really see you. They're concentrating on the road and staying in their lane. So, okay? Yes, Thomas?
About the intersections?
Intersections, thank you. Absolutely. If you're coming up to an intersection or even a stop sign, you're probably going to run into some black ice because people are sitting there and for a while that snow is melting underneath their tires. It's going to be harder to stop or start when you come up there. So use some extreme caution when you're coming up to those intersections. Any other questions, you guys, that you have? One thing I want to remind you is to stay hydrated. Even in the winter, we think about that in the summer. Think about it in the winter also. Especially if you're out trying to dig out your bus or you're running around, stay hydrated so you don't get wore down and tired, and you're not going to be any good to anybody, to your passengers or anything. So keep drinking that water. All right?
About driveways, slow up and build that berm.
Yep, if you come to a driveway that has not been plowed, or it has been plowed, but the snow plow has gone by and now you got this big, huge berm, it's not up to you guys to get out there and help shovel their driveway for them, okay? You're going to hurt yourself, and you're not going to be able to get back into the bus and drive. So let us know, call dispatch, and we will have someone come out and shovel that out for you, okay? And if they can't do it in a really fast nature in order for you to stay on time, then maybe you can go pick up another person that's close by and come around, and then they'll have it all done. What's that? Oh, absolutely, let dispatch know. Anything that is not commonly happen on your bus, something that's out of the ordinary, we're calling dispatch and letting them know what's happening. Okay? Thank you, Thomas. Anything else? Did I forget anything? All right, then Mike, it's Mike's turn.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
First of all, I want to welcome our new drivers. Great to have you. Excited to have you part of our new team, part of our team, and to our 11, 12-year vets. Just awesome. To think that about 20% of our workforce has been here since day one for 12 years says a lot about this organization and says a lot about those folks. So thank you for your commitment to NewTrax. Thank you for all the great work you've done. So appreciated and excited to have you here for 20 more. So, 30 more? No, a lot of us have been talking about the first day on November 7th, 12 years ago, and the stress and chaos that that day brought to us, and the routes that Patty put together manually to combine the two organizations, and all the work that went into 12 years ago to put this all together, and to think where we're at now is truly fantastic. So really appreciate all the folks that have been here for all 12 years of it, and it's been a ride, and excited to keep going. Just a couple more things is I think Patty missed one of our new drivers, and it's kind of a driver in training over there with Siani. We have our newest driver. Thank you for bringing her in, Whitney. Congratulations. Totally fantastic. That's perfect.
Sorry, Whitney.
Just a couple more things winter-wise. Really, thank you for training. Love how you did it. Just a couple more things. There is so much for us to be thinking about during winter, but we really need to make sure we continue to focus on those basics too. Like you said, our two biggest risks any time of year from a transportation perspective is number one, distracted driving. We need to be so focused on our driving and what we're doing, particularly in the winter. Don't lose track of those basics, and keep paying attention to what you're doing driving-wise. So do everything you can to eliminate those other distractions. And then also, don't forget to go through all your procedures to make sure wheelchairs are properly secured and locked down. Again, we do it at least 2-3 times a year, but the horror that someone in a wheelchair must feel, particularly someone that is not verbal, and they know that they haven't been properly secured and not be able to tell anyone, and just anticipating that in a hard stop or a hard acceleration that their wheelchair is going to tip, and how awful that must feel. So don't let those primary functions of your job go when you're thinking about all these things. I know it's a tough job, I know there's a lot to be doing, but don't let those two things slip while we're paying attention to the rest of these things. We always get a lot of questions during winter about, are we going to close? Are we not going to close during those difficult winter days? Always really difficult decisions that we have to make during those times. Kind of the rule of thumb is anticipate that we're going to be open. Anticipate that we're going to be working. Okay? We really hesitate. I know how nice it is to know the night before if it's going to be bad or anticipate it to be bad. To know in advance that we're going to be closed. Unless it's really bad, that is hardly ever the case. Anticipate that we're going to be open. One of the things that we try to avoid is closing and then having weather conditions be different than they anticipated, and having all of our organizations and all the great people that we serve be closed and the weather isn't as bad as they expected or conditions change. So we would love to give more notice, but typically that is not the case. So always anticipate that we are going to be open. We try to make a decision by 5 a.m. for sure if something does change, and we will put that on our voicemail, call in. We'll also put when to work message out to everyone at that time the decision is going to be made. So keep checking those messages on those days that are questionable. It's just a huge, when we are closed, we want to make sure safety is number one. But safety goes beyond just the road. A lot of families, a lot of homes don't have safe environments for the people that we serve. So if at all possible, we want to try to be open, okay? But remember, when you're out there, all those things that we talked about, if there's a road or a driveway that isn't safe, don't try to go to those places when you can. Let dispatch know, hey, this road has not been plowed, or it's icy, there's no way I'm getting up that hill, and if there's no different way, we'll make sure we communicate to people. Let us be your advocates from dispatch to the admin team in those situations. Let us be the ones telling people that you're not going to be able to get there or you can't get in your driveway. You don't need to do that yourself. Let us be your advocates in those situations. So we will definitely try to work with you and help you through those times. Patty, Mike, Lee, anything else from those standpoints? But we're going to have a beautiful winter. All the snow is going to come on the weekends. None of those -20, so we don't have anything to worry about, all right? No issues at all. It's all going to be fantastic. All right. We will have Seven Hills, our insurance brokers, out here in a little bit. They'll have a few brief comments about our insurance renewals. Basic facts are that our insurance plans are staying the same as last year. So we will talk through that. There's small increases through the employee contributions. We're trying to cover the vast majority of that. So we'll talk through some more of that. And they will stick around after the meeting up in our conference room to answer any additional questions you have with insurance renewals. But it's a there's only one change to the plans, and that's a decrease in the deductible out of pocket on one of the 6 plans we have. And there'll be anywhere from a $10 to $20 a month increase in the employee share, but pretty much everything else is staying the same throughout all the insurance renewals. Like I said, Seven Hills will be out here to talk more about that with any additional questions. Lastly, from my standpoint, this is always an exciting time of year as we wonder what our wage increases and changes are going to be as an organization. And in large part due to the wonderful and terrific work that you all have done, allowing us to continue to grow as an organization. Our wage increases, we're excited to report that we'll have a $1.50 base wage increase for all our drivers, mechanics, and dispatchers starting January 1st. So we'll bring our starting wage and our base wage up to $20 an hour, and all of our drivers will receive a $1.50 base increase on where they're currently at. In addition, there'll be a merit-based increase on top of that as well. And those amounts we'll talk to you will be in the neighborhood of about an additional quarter or so on top of that $1.50. And we really want to emphasize, this is all due to the great work that you guys are doing on a daily basis. It's the growth, it's the community transportation, it's tremendous service that we're providing to our customers. To think about, for those that have been here 12 years, as recently as early 2020, our starting wage was $14 an hour. So we have come up over 43% in 4 years. You know what, we do understand that cost of living has increased significantly since then too, but not at that rate. are going to continue to do everything we can organizationally to invest in you guys as drivers, as dispatchers, as mechanics, and we're so happy to be able to do this. Let your friends know. Let anyone that's looking for jobs know. Because the more we're able to increase opportunities and increase the amount of work we're able to do, that's what allows us to be able to continue to invest in you guys. So, in addition to that, additional exciting news. We finally have new buses coming.
Woo! 2024.
We have 4 new buses that should be here before the end of this year, an additional 8 new buses that will be coming in the first quarter of next year. So we'll be able to get new, better equipment, get some of these buses that our terrific mechanic crew has done an amazing job of keeping on the roads, keeping operational since we've been waiting these 4 years for new buses. So that's going to be very helpful. Yeah, I can't thank you guys enough for the work they've done to keep you in safe buses, keep our riders safe, and all of that. So terrific job. Excited to get these new buses. That will mean that there'll be a shuffle and reorganization of buses. Change is tough, but you all will likely need, there'll have to be a shuffle of those buses. Alicia, you have a question?
Is the $1.50 a guaranteed thing, or if you have points, you can go down or, you know?
The $1.50 is a base wage increase. That's going to have the additional on top of that is based on performance. So that will continue to come as well. Even our new drivers, you're getting that $1.50 as well. It's just a $1.50 base wage increase. So as you're out there recruiting new drivers, you can let people know that $20 an hour is the starting wage now. So Sienna's getting a little bit better starting wage than you got with it. As we're waiting for Seven Hills, are there things that I can answer or questions that people have and they're waiting for our food?
I hate to be the one asking the questions all the time, but one other thing for safety that wasn't mentioned is clips for your feet. Does Matrix provide those as well?
Yes.
So we do have yak tracks. We've got a number of pairs of those. We don't, it's totally a personal decision if you choose to wear those or not. Some people feel like it creates an additional safety challenge, that these things can get stuck in the grates of things. So make sure, first and foremost, make sure you're wearing proper footwear to start. And make sure you're walking like a penguin and being safe. As we mentioned last month at our meeting, if there are conditions that you feel are not safe, either in our parking lots, in our building, or where you're going, please let us know. We want to do everything we can to provide a safe work environment for you. Okay?
Is our insurance, does it have
It does, yes. Medicare guidelines, or let me make sure I understand the question. Medicare is something different than, it is considered a full insurance plan.
Right. But, well, my daughter will be asked because if I stay on this insurance, it's terrible.
Oh, so that's a great question. It's maybe something to ask Seven Hills. As far as Medicare often offers very, very good health care. So that's something you're going to need to take a look at their array and ours. It is often provide something more than what our insurance provides. Seven Hills can probably walk you through some of that better than we can individually. The question I thought you were asking is, through the state of Minnesota, the medical insurance requirements, it is a full medical plan that meets all those needs. Medicare does have some opportunities that may exceed what the benefits that our insurance plan provides. And again, Seven Hills, if they're here, can probably answer that question better than I can.
They just wanna know if this insurance has Medicare Advantage.
I'm not certain what that means.
I don't either.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll ask them.
All right, any other questions that people might have for me? I'm gonna give Bruce a quick shout out here. Went to the funeral of one of our riders recently, and was so pleased and happy to see Bruce there due to that relationship that he created with that rider and their family, and what it meant to that individual's family to have that representation from NewTracks there. That was terrific. Thank you so much for taking your personal time on a weekend to do that.
Don't forget, we have Thursday, Friday off for holiday. Thanksgiving. Thursday, Friday, holiday, check your record. They are both paid holidays.
Both paid off.
Over
And in December, we have 3 days, correct? 2 of those days will be paid holidays, and one is, that third, that Florida holiday. Is it just the 2? I can't, I should be careful as I, So it's on what is it? Christmas is on Monday, so we have Monday and Tuesday off. You're right, it's just the 2 days. And both those are paid holidays this year as well too. Sorry. Yeah, Monday and Tuesday. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm already looking forward to our 2024 schedule will be posted this week, and that's hey, there we go. Yeah, Kristen Holly here from Seven Hills. Again, the food will be here very shortly as well, but we'll let Kristen Holly talk us through quickly whatever changes there are to the benefit system. And as I mentioned, they'll be up in our conference room after this meeting for those who have more questions. The renewals will be done again on the ease system on those apps. If you don't have that or have challenges with those apps, Melanie in particular, but Patty and I can help you out with that as well. And we'll be available at times to help you out with those the benefit selections. Even those waiving benefits will have to go into the app and designate that they are waiving their benefit options this year. Right, Chris and Howard, right? Even those that are waiving will still need to go into ease and elect that they're waiving, correct? Yes. Yep, Kathy?
So if, even if
Yes, if you're keeping the same thing, you have to go in there and re-designate that you're electing that same plan again. So, Chris from Seven Hills, quick introduction. Chris and I have been working together nearly 25 years. Chris has been here as our benefit broker since the start of NewTracks 12 years ago. Can you believe that? Amazing. And one of the things, that Angie and Patty can back me up on is there are always benefit brokers calling on us to try to get our business. And every time when we tell them who we're working with, when we tell them Seven Hills and Chris Neiman, without a doubt, they go, well, if you're ever going out to bid, keep us in mind that you are in good hands with Chris Neiman and Seven Hills. We hear that all the time. So we appreciate the work you do and the reputation that you put out there.
Well, thank you, Mike. We do our best to support the work that you do. Because your role here in the community is really important. 12 years goes by fast, but it's especially fast when you've really filled a need. So we really appreciate the work that you do here at New Tracks, keeping people connected. So, what I'm going to talk about
Loose?
might be a little loose. Maybe I'll stand right here, okay? And many of you are full-time employees, some of you are part-time. So the benefit program is really designed for what we refer to as a full-time status. And that's what these books are. This is your 2024 Employee Benefit Manual, right? It's called a benefit manual. And in it, we highlight what each of the different plans are. And I'm going to try to do this one-handed here.
I can hold something if you want.
Here, how about just for a second here? Open it up. You know, maybe, can you hear me just as well this way?
Yeah.
No?
I can just hold it.
If I was as tall as Mike, you could probably hear me better. Right? So there's a couple of important things. The first benefit program that we'll talk about in a little bit more depth is the group health insurance program. This is a plan that is insured with Medica. It is going to stay with Medica from this year till next year. And I'll talk a little bit about that and the details in here. But in addition, there's also group dental insurance, right? That is financed by Nutrax for you, so that it keeps the cost very affordable for those of you who want to choose that. That's detailed in the benefit manual as well. But there's also group life and group disability insurance, right? These are plans that are paid for by Nutrax for a full-time employee. And I believe that is 30 hours a week or more regularly scheduled. That's how we define it, okay? Those plans are identified in here. You don't have to make elections in ease, but it will ask you to acknowledge the group life and the group disability benefits. There isn't a premium attached to it. But in the group life insurance, there's a really important thing that you need to do. And that is keep the beneficiary up to date. So there's a place in the EASE portal for you to check your beneficiary and change it if you feel it's appropriate to change that beneficiary. Very important responsibility you have on that. There's also a voluntary vision program to help keep lenses and contacts and frames more affordable for you. You can look at that in a little bit of detail. And we're also introducing something called pet insurance. Pet. Dogs and cats. Yes, it's true, right? That will not be described in the EASE portal because it's pretty new. But we do have flyers for those of you who want to explore pet insurance for your dog or your cat, okay? And you can see how back here if you want to grab one of those brochures. You simply just log into their website, tell them that you're with Nutrax and Seven Hills, and then you will be entitled to about a 15 or 20% discount because of that, okay? So that's that. Open up.
Page 6.
Thank you, Anna. All right. This is what it is right here. For those of you on the plan, it's going to be pretty familiar. We have not changed things too much, which is good news, right? Same networks, same Medica, same pharmacy system, no big changes there. Medica, however, feels that you are worth a lot more than you used to be. About 10 or 11% more is what the premium is being proposed. Now, when we got that, we did look at Blue Cross, Health Partners, United Healthcare, all the other options that are available to us here, and concluded that even at the increase, it's still the best economic value, right? So we know we're still getting a fair deal, even though it's a little bit more. Now, Nutrax picks up most of the premium for your coverage for yourself, right? Most of it. As a matter of fact, it's almost 80% of the premium on average is paid for by Nutrax for you, okay? So most of the increase is paid for by Nutrax as well. But you will see anywhere from maybe a 7 to 9 or 10% change in what your cost is. And those premiums are identified right below the plan selections for you. You notice that there are 6 premiums, 6, right? We have 3 different benefit sets, meaning different deductible, copay, and out-of-pocket configurations, but 2 different networks. A large network that is called the Passport program, which means that you can go to any doctor and hospital in that network without restrictions, and this network includes 100% of the hospitals in the state, including Rochester Mayo. Or you could choose a lower premium cost network called Vantage Plus. Same networks that we have today. Vantage Plus means that your care needs to be managed by the mHealth system or North Memorial. mHealth is the merger of the University of Minnesota Hospital and Clinics with Fairview. Right? And Fairview has got St. John's right close by here. The entire clinic is a part of that, but you'll find that if you want to save some money and you're okay with the mHealth care system, then that is going to be a good option for you. Okay? Again, that's called the Vantage Plus. Okay? So when you are doing your enrollment in EASE, there will be a description of each of these plans. It will show you what you have today and what you're paying today. And then you can compare that against the 6 new plans for next year, all very similar, right? And then you'll make your selection on that. If you want to include family members, right, then you'll see at the beginning of your EASE portfolio, or your profile, if you identify your family members in the profile, that they will show up as an option for you to insure on the health insurance. And if you want to cover them, it will tell you what that extra cost would be. And if you are okay with that, then you click a green X and suddenly they'll be enrolled. No health questions, no pre-existing conditions. Okay? How much longer? Is that enough?
So Chris and I will be upstairs in our conference room after to help walk you through any additional questions. Do people, specific questions that you may have for yourself, please hold those to upstairs. If you have more general questions that anyone could benefit from, ask them now. Otherwise, they can walk you through stuff upstairs. Just another couple quick announcements. If you're not going to use your
That's good for it.
if you're waving or things like that, please go give those back to Andy so we can have extras. Lastly, non-healthcare related. If people, before they eat, the folks in there need chairs. So if you could bring chairs back to the break room so they can have their lunch. That's great. I think they're doing lunch right now. Otherwise, 2 slices of meat at the start, or likely have extra, you can come back again after. And again, I want to thank Chris and Ellen from Southern Hills for being here. I think we've done a great job of providing a full array of health care for everyone, and they'll be here after all the
Happy anniversary.
A general question for your password. Do you need to remember your one from last year?
Great question. When you log into EASE, it will ask you your password.
Completely forgot.
9 out of 10 people have no idea what their password was from last year. There's a little blue word that says forgot password. Just click that and you can put in your password in there. Okay? Good question. One important thing is that you will receive an email telling you what to do and where to, and it'll be a direct link and off of email so we can start your enrollment. Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys are awesome!
Good job. Here's the pizza. Thank you. So again, Seven Hills